Hello everyone, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com and I'm back today with the dollar bead box and bag monthly subscription for the month of December 2020. Let's go ahead and get on into it and see what's inside of this last box of the year. All right, so on top, we have the dollar bead bag. Now this is an add-on, it's $8 a month in addition to the box, and you don't have to get this. This contains 4 strands of 3mm fire polish beads and 4 strands of 4mm fire polish beads. So it's a great way to bulk up your stash of those types of strands for a really great price on a monthly basis. The box itself, which we'll get into after this, it's as low as $18.50 a month with free shipping in the US if you sign up for a longer period of time. And you can also sign up for just a single box or like a month-to-month situation, all different options, but I'll leave their website right down below the video. And I also have a coupon code that will save you $2 off any purchase, whether that's a subscription, a membership, or if you decide to shop in their store. That code is ORCHID2. And every little bit helps, right? So we have the dollar bead bag, 8 strands inside as usual, and let's see a little sneak peek of what is inside of the bag this month. I'm gonna take these out and then we'll get a closer look at everything one at a time. Let's take a look at our 3mm strands first. We'll start at the top with the Crystal Vintage Olive Silver Luster. It's a mouthful for this gorgeous strand that I have in my hand here. And you can see part of the bead is translucent, letting some light through, especially where there is less of that coating. These are kind of stone-like with a light topaz or olivey looking colored glass and that vintage coating, which give these that kind of speckled appearance, some of that bluish gray and brown spots over the top. Lots going on in those little teeny beads. Next, we're going to look at the Vintage Plum Copper. This is stunning. I haven't seen this combination before. And as you can see, parts of the bead are more purple and parts are more copper. There's a lot of copper coming out, but that's a really unique combination, one I haven't gotten before, so I'm excited to get something new like that. The next one is called Light Topaz White Luster. That's this one here, very sparkly and juicy strand, a very light buttery yellow and a high glossy finish. Just look at how those sparkle. And that light golden tone is so light it could be pretty much used as a neutral in a lot of projects. And the final 3mm strand is called Vintage Gold Iris. Another great metallic neutral type of color. There's some variation in the gold that I'm seeing, kind of an antique gold color, a little bit on the bronzy side, and one of our opaque strands in this particular set. Then we get into our 4mm strands, and the first one is called Matte Crystal Vitriol Blue, which should be this one right here. Look at that dreamy strand. And you have the matte combined with the vitriol, which is like an AB finish, giving you that iridescent rainbow effect and giving these that kind of a glowy look to what otherwise would just be a plain kind of gray, cloudy, and partially clear bead. And then we have Crystal Blue Zerit, and that is this one here. We have a strand containing beads that are partially crystal clear, as you can see, and then part of them has this kind of metallic, colorful coating. So it gives you that really fun, sparkly effect, and when you move them under the light, you can see that sometimes there's some purple or blue or gold, sometimes bronze, picked up depending on how the light is reflecting off of the facets. Our third 4mm strand is called Jet Travertine Green Luster, and that is this one. So another opaque strand, and this one from afar definitely looks kind of just like a deep olive green, but on closer inspection you see all those beautiful details, how it's got this black background combined with that green coating and a little bit of luster finish, which gives these just a slight golden cast at some angles. Beautiful strand, and I don't think one I've gotten before as well. And then the fourth strand of our 4mm is called metallic rhubarb. So we have a lot of these fun berry pinks and reds coming through, a little bit of copper, and also the metallic finish, making parts of the beads a little bit more opaque, and then part of the beads are more clear depending on where that coating has landed. Even some blue and purple, all different colors coming through. And I think we just got this in the 3mm recently. So that is everything for the dollar bead bag for the month of December 2020. Another great round of check glass fire polish strands, which work so well for all different sorts of crafting and different types of jewelry making, all for just $1 per strand. So as you can see on the note at the bottom here, if you are a subscriber to the dollar bead bag and or box, you can actually go back on their site and you can place orders for additional items on their site for just $1 each for the most part. And you do have to be either a member or a subscriber to one of their products in order to shop. Now let's get into the dollar bead box, and bringing it back here, you can see we have a note on the top, and then our contents are inside of this tissue paper bundle. And every month they have a personalized little note talking about what's going on with the company or what's going on with the time of year or things that they may want to give customers a heads up about. And then on the back of that is a list of all the contents that we're about to take a look at. At the top, we have all the strands listed. And then at the bottom, there are additional items. So this is kind of one of those subscriptions that I think of and describe as a sampler. You get a sample of all different sorts of things, whether it be the strands, which happens to be my favorite part of the box. And you also get all kinds of additional items such as loose beads, focals, findings, stringing material, pendants. It could be a whole bunch of different things. So we'll take a look at all of this again, one at a time, and let's get a sneak peek of what's inside the tissue paper. All right, so that is what everything looks like as it has been shipped to me. And I'm, again, gonna take all these things out and we'll go through them one at a time. Here's a look at the very first strand. We have a strand of check glass pressed oak leaf beads. These are in green opal with gold wash. Beautiful. I like the fact that they are green with that hint of metallic wash that just kind of spices them up a little bit, and they are a great option color wise if you're trying to make a beaded piece that does actually look more like a realistic flower instead of something more whimsical with an oak leaf that isn't in a color that's true to nature, even though they're beautiful. So that's the first one. Then next we have a strand of 4x8mm check glass 2-hole crescent beads, and the color is called Crystal Chili Pepper, 24 pieces on the strands. So it's always fun, I think, to get some of these 2-hole beads in a unique shape. Lots of fun for bead weaving, and that color, you can see it's a combination of crystal clear and kind of a topaz, and gets a little bit warmer in a gradient from one side of the bead to the other. Just like the name says, it's a crescent shape, not the same as the Checkmate's 2-hole crescents, but still crescent shape nonetheless, a little bit wider and a little bit shorter. And then next we have a super long strand of 2mm, little teeny tiny dyed jade. These are in a lime green type of color or chartreuse, a little bit of variation with the color tone because of the fact that these are stone and the dye kind of settles a little bit differently depending on the makeup of the bead. And these are just round, smooth, little teeny beads on a 14-inch strand. I actually really like getting some of these teeny tiny gemstone beads. I don't know why, if it's just kind of that effect of getting something that you normally see in a larger size, but this time it's in miniature, so I don't know. But that's fun and something different that I'm glad they included. Next up, we have a strand of 33 pieces of these 6mm, what they call miracle beads. These are a glass bead with this special coating on it that makes these beads look like they are glowing. Just check that out. As I move them under the light, you can see that really cool effect that these have. You look at them one way and they just kind of look like a plain glass pearl bead, but then you turn it and you get that almost trippy prismatic like look. That's neat. So those are in light silver, comes off as a light blue or a little bluish silver. The next strand contains pinch beads. These are in the color bronze iris luster. There's 25 pieces on the strand. These are the 3x5mm size. I'm always a big fan of that bronze iris luster. I like seeing all of those different metallic tones come together. You have your gold, your copper, some bronze, all in this very satiny, smooth coating, and these little three-sided, small and kind of oval or rice-like shaped beads. We then have a strand of 5mm check glass fire polish in a color called light opaque blue. Isn't that a beautiful icy blue? And these are just a little bit more on the round side than I'm used to seeing in the check glass fire polish that typically have a little bit more of an elongated look, but they could be easily used in a project that calls for a 5mm round bead, and you can see they have some faceting. They're just a little bit more irregular too than ordinary fire polish rounds that are so uniform, like this next strand. This one is a strand of 8mm fire polish in the color Crystal AB. Gorgeous and versatile, crystal clear with the glossy facets and the AB coating that is on parts of the bead that just adds that something special to otherwise clear glass. And then lastly, we have another strand of 8mm fire polish. This one is in a jet half rainbow iris. So we got our Crystal AB, and now we have this opaque jet black with the iris finish, which gives us that little bit of rainbow metallic on parts of these beads. Overall, I think this is a great selection of strands for the month. It's always fun to see what assortment they send because no two boxes are ever the same and you just don't know what you're gonna get. All right, now let's get into our additional items. And we're gonna kick that off with this first bag containing 2 of these check glass button beads in the color cyan with a 2x AB coating. So you can see that lustrous AB coating on both sides of these bright red check glass beads, and there is the hole right there running through the middle. We've gotten these button beads before in all different colors, but I don't think I have seen them yet in the bright red cyan. Next up, we have a bag containing 2 16x20mm check glass sugar skull beads. These are in matte opaque yellow with turquoise wash. And here's a closer look, another unique check glass shape with the hole running through the center and very bright pops of color there with the yellow and bright aqua blue that is washed into the details of these beads. And then our third bag, this one containing 5 pieces of check glass faceted rondelles in the color dark aqua merrier. These are 6x9mm. Ooh, what a gorgeous color combination. That very vibrant, but also deep, dark aqua blue, and then the pop of metallic rainbow shine that is on parts of the beads. You can see that little bit of faceting on the edges. I could go for a whole strand of those. Those are gorgeous. Our next bag contains 2 of these mint opal check glass table cut beads. Tabular hexagon is the shape, and they are a 12mm size. This would be great for a little pair of earrings. And there is a close-up look. You can see how the color is kind of milky and swirls around inside. And that's a unique shape. I don't think I've gotten any of these tabular hexagons before. The hole runs there right through the center of 2 of the parallel sides, and it's just that light minty green, really fresh color. Then we have a bag containing 2 pieces of check glass bellflower beads, 10mm size, and the color is called Crystal Citrus with Mulberry. Another beautiful check glass shape, these little flowers, the hole running right down through the center. We get those swirls of light pink and yellow I'd call these raspberry lemonade, and sitting in the clear glass, and another cute pair that could be used right out of the box, and a little pair of earrings. Our next bag contains 2 of these check glass 2-hole pyramid beads, 12mm square bottoms, and the color is called alabaster white with purple luster. So another uniquely shaped 2-hole check glass bead, really cool finish with the travertine, actually makes these look a little bit mossy or something. And this is why I call this box more of a sampler, because you get all different things, but smaller quantities of a lot of these additional items, because it also gives you an idea of what they have in their online store, where you can go back and order more of these items for $1 per selection. Here's the next bag. This one contains some check glass corrugated melon beads, 5mm in the color transparent orange. So we have our little tangerines. And there's a look at these round beads with the ribbed edges and citrusy orange translucent glass. And here's the next one. These are white opal with purple opal travertine, check glass 3 cut drops in a 9x16mm size. These are cut on 3 sides, so they're flat on 3 sides, letting that white glass show through. And then the edges contain the travertine finish, some of which on the edge has that purplish color, and the hole running through the length of the beads. And then we get to a bag containing 4 of these check glass tabular rectangles, 8x12mm, and the color is called olive opal. And there's a close-up look. They have a little bit of that chatoyancy, so when you move them under the light, it kind of has that satiny light play that's pretty cool, and a beautiful emerald green color. Although, why do these remind me of little bars of soap? But anyway, here's the hole running through the center of the rectangles, and they have that little faceted shape, which is a pretty cool detail. Those are beautiful. Second to last bag, we have a large hole Chinese lampwork bead. The color and style could vary between box to box, and you can see how it's got that metallic lining. And the one I received is kind of a very light aqua blue with a little bit of a silver coil wrapping around the outside. So it looks like they may be carrying some of these large hole European style beads that you see sometimes slipped on those special wide chain metallic bracelets. And then our very last item in the box is a 28mm Thai Hill tribe style pewter butterfly, antique silver plated, and it seems pretty solid, so it doesn't seem like some similar items we've gotten in the past that are more like stampings. This is actually solid and it's thicker, so it definitely doesn't feel flexible at all. And as you can see, it's got a hole running through the center, so you could actually use it as a bead in the sense that you could string it onto some type of bead stringing wire or other type of wire. So something else that is unique and different that I haven't seen in this box. And that does it for our dollar bead box and bag for the month of December 2020. Hard to believe another year has gone by of the subscription. This is definitely the type of thing you can expect, and that's why I like to share these boxes with you guys, so you can decide which boxes are right for you, which ones are your favorite. I think one of the nice perks about this subscription is if you're somebody who likes to buy a lot of check glass strands in particular, by being a member or a subscriber, you get access to their online store where you can get so many different types of check glass strands for $1 a piece. So we have a fun assortment below. As usual, I love seeing all of the strands they send besides what's in the dollar bead bag, because that's always a nice surprise. And we have an interesting little assortment of additional items below as well to see what else they have in store. I really appreciate you being with me for this unboxing. If you enjoyed this video or if it was helpful for you, I hope you'll give it a big thumbs up. That would mean so much to me. And also, please subscribe while you're here so you'll be notified when I'm back with more fun beading videos. Don't forget you can use the coupon code ORCHID2 to save $2 off any purchase at dollarbeadbox.com, whether it's a membership, subscription, or a purchase at their shop. And I will leave that and the link to their sub down below the video. And down below, you can also find my social media handles. Definitely feel free to follow along with me on those and leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this month's box, if you have a favorite item or strand that was included or anything else you'd like to say. I'll be back again real soon, but until next time, I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.